All right, I just got my cards back from SGC. We're going to open them and look at their grades. And it's all related to the 2005 Apprentice Comic Images Donald Trump first on card ever auto. Okay, and this is the only mint graded version ever by any grading company. There's only one mint. It's right here. There's nothing higher. There's nothing similar. This is a pop one. We're going to talk about this. This is his first on-card auto where he actually held the card and signed it. And so besides the 2005, then of course he did the 2011 leaf metal and non-metal. And this is the superfractor, the holy grail of all trading cards in the history of the hobby. This is a 8-figure card. It's a 1 of 1, of course. So he also did 2011 leaf on card autos, including this superfractor, and then he did 2012 pop century, and this is the gold 101 on card auto as well. These are the two greatest Trump cards you could ever own, and this is the absolute holy grail. It's his rookie, it's a superfractor, it's on card auto. It's just the greatest card you can own in trading card history of the GOAT of mankind, who continues to make iconic moment after iconic moment. He is a living legend, and he's been nonstop in the news for 10 years and counting. But we're going to open this up right now, okay? It is going to have an unveiling of something almost just as exciting as this 101. It is a 2005 Apprentice. Okay, it came back a 7, but that is not what's amazing about it. So here we go. So all the boxes I opened recently, and I did the unboxings on this YouTube channel. You know, the product that this came out of, but I've had this for 9 years. But you know, it's the original product where this did come from, and the Apprentice box. Well, I sent everything off to SGC. Well, that was worthy of getting graded, and now we got everything back. So there's something in here that's so exciting, so we're just going to stop showing everything and just focus on this Apprentice in a second, because this thing it's one of a kind. I'm so happy that they graded it, that they didn't say that it was like a reprint or fake or something, because it's suspicious the way it looks. And I'll show you. Here we go. So they, for some reason, they said they couldn't do the tie card, because it too large for the holder. So I'm gonna send these in a Beckett. But here we go. So you may notice that these were in the I pulled these in the boxes. So we got an 8 on this. We got the Dennis Rodman. So I was hoping to pull the Trump, right? There's the you know, like here's what this came from. This is a freaking pristine 10. This is a $50,000 card. There's 3 of these. I have all 3 of them. Pop 3 pristines. All right, but here we go. So we got a 10 with Dennis Rodman. This. And there's it's basically, was trying to pull this. This is freaking $20,000 card base. It's the 2011 non-metal version on card auto of Trump. But yeah, I pulled this in the box we opened. Okay, we pulled a Roy Jones. All right, and then I sent in some Ichiros just because this is cool. This came back. Oh, this was a 9 auto 10, but this is a 9. Here's another 9. And this one's nice. Here's a 10. 10, I guess. I don't know why they didn't auto 10 and 10. I guess everything's a 10. Love that. All right, here we go. There it is. This is everything right here. Boom. Beautiful. So this was the 64th card of this, now slabbed by SGC. If you look, DT1 and DT2, 40 DT1s and 24 DT2s. There's one 8.5 and one 8. 7 is cool and all, but here it is. Here's the one 8.5 SGC has ever graded. Here's the 1/8 of DT2 that SGC has ever graded. So I have the only, there's nothing higher and nothing similar to this with SGC, and for DT2 there's nothing higher or similar to this. It's 101 and 101, and for BGS this is the 101 as well. Nothing higher, nothing similar, the only mint. So I have the 3 highest graded Apprentice Trump cards that exist. And now this is almost just as beautiful and rare. Why? What do you notice? So look at that. Where's the autograph, right? See, look at here. Some of them are big autos. Some of them are little autos. But no matter what, let's see. No matter what, you could see they're all on-card autos on the front, right? All of them. So what we have here is the first one ever where Trump signed the back, and not with black ink. He used silver. So it's the only one with silver ink, and it's the only one where he signed the back. So I sent this in hoping that SGC wasn't going to reject it. Sure enough, they slabbed it, authenticated it, and boom, there we go. It is now it is now the latest one out of 64 2005 Apprentice Trump cards that have been graded. And we're at a 35% ratio, or we're about to be. With BGS and SGC combined, PSA won't grade this because Comic Images isn't established enough of a company. But we're at a 35% ratio of DT1s, okay, the DT1s, versus the DT2s. So 35% of all of the on-card autos of Trump from 2005, 35% are this one, the DT2, the pink tie. And basically the other 65% are the red ties, DT1s. DT1. So there's 2 times more DT1s than DT2s. And there's only, out of all, so there's 64 SGCs. There's 64 SGCs now. There's only one 8.5 for DT1 and one 8 for DT2. And for Beckett, they've only graded 4, okay? And there's a 9. And then there's nothing higher. Then it goes down this way. Then there's an 8.5, and then there's 2 8s for DT2. That first line there, we're going to get to that. There it is. Here it is right here. So remember when I opened the Apprentice box? Pulled 4 of these. So we got an 8. We got a 9. How nice. We got a 9.5. So it's probably $100, this one. So these aren't autographed. This is the base card set. Remember all the junk nobodies that were in these things? So I got 4 of these. I sent those in. And then I sent in Muhammad Ali's memorabilia patch, and this as well, last car right here. But yeah, so this is worthy of going in my best of the best with this 9. So I got the only mint that's ever been graded, and there's 84. There's about to be, okay. There's 64 with SGC, and there's 4 with Beckett, okay. But there's going to be 84 total graded, and this is the only one where he signed the back and with a silver pen. So it's priceless. It's awesome. Love that. And it's like its biggest too. It's its biggest signature. You look at the DT2s. So here's more. You can just see how. PSA will slab it if you send it into the PSA DNA service. They won't grade the card, but the PSA DNA service is $100 for Trump for them to just authenticate an autograph. So got these 2 from PSA DNA, but obviously they reject anything you send them for grading the actual card. And then you see all the DT2s. You get some big ones, pretty big autos. Most of DT2 is big autos, but there you go. You see some smaller ones. So, truly, this thing, where'd it go? This is just one of a kind. It's the only one with a signature on the back and in silver ink, and it's the biggest signature out of any of them. So why do I say 84? Because here we go. This is the last bunch that probably have not surfaced and not been graded yet. Got 13 here. We're going to send all these in to BGS to load up on their pop report too. So I've been collecting these for 10 years. I am the Trump on-card auto super collector. And so we've got 10 DT1s to still, damn, this one almost went off the freaking card. We've got 10 DT1s to send in. As you see, most are small autos that I have left to send in. Here's a big one. So 10 DT1s, and we got 3 DT2s. So when these 13 are graded and slabbed by Beckett, then their pop report will have the 13 that I'm sending in plus the 4, so there'll be 17 graded by Beckett, and there's 64 graded by SGC, 64, 84. Oh, there's going to be 81. So there's going to be 81 of these that have surfaced and been graded by SGC and Beckett, and there's only going to be one of these. One man. Maybe, I mean, you know what I mean? Beckett's graded 4, and they've given out, a 9 and an 8.5 and 2 8s. Like all 4 that Beckett has graded, they've given out 8, 8.5, and 9. But the 64 that SGC has graded, which I have most of, I own most of them. I bought them all raw and I sent them all to SGC. Most that SGC have graded are 6s. They did authentic. There's a couple 3s and then 7s, and then there's a lot of 6s too. There's some 6s that aren't in here, but basically 7s are the best you can hope for most of the time when you send it into SGC. So I don't know. SGC is definitely stricter than BGS, or it's just a rare coincidence that the 4 that, I only have one of the 4, but the 4 that have been graded by Beckett, they gave out an 8, an 8, and another 8, an 8.5, and a 9. And so when I send these 13 in to Beckett, hey, maybe I will make this a pop 2. And maybe one of these 3 DT2s will be the first BGS 9 ever. Or, because right now there's only DT2, there's 2 8s. So maybe I have an 8 here. Then there'll be 3 of them. But there's going to be 81 graded 2005 Apprentice Trump on-card autos, and this is just so awesome that this came back from SGC slab, that it's real, like, because I was like, oh, did someone just make this card and sign it themselves? But I knew this was a signature. It's easy to tell what Trump's signature is when you have over 1,000 of his signatures on his business cards and on signed $100 bills and $500 bills and $1,000 bills, and on gold bar I had him sign, and on anything and everything, and 400 Trump on-card autos from 2005, 2011, and 2012. So there you go. That was a nice little SGC haul there. It was cool that I got this one. But it was just, this is kind of disappointing that SGC's holder couldn't do these. The tie cards that I pulled. I pulled one, and then I already had a couple others that I wanted to send in. And then this is the success of the whole SGC. I put this in there, and this is the only one I cared about them slabbing. Because if they were going to reject it and say, oh, no, we can't verify because, it's signed on the back, and that's not how it's supposed to be. It's literally the only one. It's freaking priceless. Biggest signature, silver ink, and on the back, love it. So, 101, highest grade Beckett Apprentice card, highest grade SGC DT1, highest grade SGC DT2, and the only signed on the back Apprentice card, period. But we'll see what happens after I get these. Check the pop reports. I'll follow up. I'll do an unboxing when these come back from Beckett, and we'll see what happens. But maybe I'll make it a pop 2 for BGS 9, and maybe I'll make it a pop 1 for the DTs. For the DT2s, maybe it'll be the first BGS 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 for DT2. There's only 2 8s. But with SGC, yeah, in SGC, there is no 8.5, period. For DT2, there's no 8.5. SGC did an 8, and Beckett also did 2 8s. But SGC has no 8.5. So maybe one of these 3 can become the first 8.5 ever. Whether it's SGC or BGS, there's 0. DT2 is, like I said, there's 2 times as many DT1s as DT2s that were made. And the highest grade for DT2 is an 8, and it's with SGC, and there's 0. Well, there's two BGS 8s, and there's the SGC 8. So it's the highest there's been. But with the DT1, there's the 1 and only 9. And then there's a 8.5 out there too. It's a 9 and an 8. And this front line again, the front line is just the not autographed. It's this thing. So there you go. You guys are all schooled in the 2005 comic images, The Apprentice, Donald Trump, on-card auto, the first on-card auto he ever did. And then the next one he ever did was the 2011 Leaf Metal, and the 2011 Leaf Non-Metal, and then the 2012 Pop Century. And these are the best 2 cards in the history of the hobby. And of course, they happen to be Donald Trump because he is the GOAT of mankind. Priceless cards right here. I would consider a $10 million offer. So stay tuned, because future video we'll see what BGS grades these 10 DT1s and 3 DT2s. And once again, this is the only SGC 8 of DT2. And this is the only 8.5 of DT1. You see, I have these sorted now. So we got a big signature DT1, another big DT1, and then down to a small. So we have a lot of DT1 8s, and then we go down to big DT1 7s. It's a different kind. It's a little bit different. But yeah, DT1 got a lot of 8s. Got a lot of big signatures in 7th grade. And then then it goes down to small. But for DT2s, 7 is as high as we got. They're all 7s. And only a couple bigs. That's decent size right there, but another decent size. But yeah, decent size. Are these all small? No, I'd have to organize these. The big one should be in the back. Big is the best. Then it goes down to this freaking 3. So yeah, this DT2 really stands out as being really the best one. It's the highest grade DT2 there is for SGC, and for BGS they have 2 of these, right? DT2, yeah, they have 2 8s. So I'm sending 3 more to BGS. We'll see if I can pull off an 8.5, which would become the highest graded DT2 out of anywhere. Because I'm already tied with the highest graded DT2 out of anywhere. And I already have the highest graded DT1 anywhere. But that'd be cool. I could pull off a freaking 8.5 or a 9 for DT2, because it's harder to get. It's rarer. They only made half as many of these, and they seem to be harder harder to get conditions, but BGS seems to grade way easier. I mean, damn, this could have been, maybe this is a BGS 9. If I had sent it to, I bet it is. It really does. There's not even much white on the edges. I bet this is a BGS 9. SGC just seems to be way harder. If you just look at the numbers, because BGS is only graded for DT1s and DT2s, you know, and they got 2 8s, an 8.5, and a 9. And then you look at SGC for DT1 and DT2, they've graded 64. You know, you have no 9. I mean, you got all 4 that have been graded with BGS, all 8s and 9s. You know, but for SGC, everything is 7s and some 8s. So the average grade is way lower for SGC for these things. We'll see what happens when I send these to BGS, if they come back with a 9 or something. But yeah, man, this thing may have ended up being a 9 with Beckett.
We need to know more about her. So she has a chance tonight to fill in that slate. Donald Trump also has, of course, the chance to fill it in for her.
Could be, it can't be a 9.5, but just the slightest weight. I mean, like, look at this. It's this has way more weight. That right there is way worse. This has way more weight on the edges, and it got a 9. The only 9 ever from anywhere, and yet this for Beckett or anywhere, and Beckett graded that at 9, and yet this is easily better grade. I mean, this is better condition, I think. I don't know. There's some there too, some white on the edge, but this would be a BGS 9. The front looks decent. There's some white there.
Can you get to 270 without Pennsylvania? Yes, but you have to win Michigan. You have to win Wisconsin. So then you're at 250. And so then what happens? You could recreate what Joe Biden did. Right? Joe Biden flipped Georgia, hadn't gone Democrat in a very long time. Way back, and then you come up.
The edges here is really,
you can do it that way.
really evident right there. I should have made this at 8.5 or 8 at best, I would have thought. But awesome.
So you can see it. You can do it without Pennsylvania. The problem is that's 19, right? But those, look, they are.
This one's funny. His whole face is covered. This is one of the bigger signatures as well. What else did I say? I saw something here that was. Thought I saw something else here that was interesting.
Thanks so much, Anderson. Joining us now.
This one's pretty big too. Another big one. But yeah, overall, all the DT2 signatures are bigger. Like even the smallest ones for DT2 are still like bigger than the smallest ones for DT1. There's nothing like there's a lot of DT1s that are really small. Like that one's, this one's tiny. This one's tiny. This one's tiny. DT2s, he pretty much did like a decent size on all of them, or really big. This one's hilarious.